Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Miyuki and this is Let's Make Art, and we do art projects every week together. And we are Let's Make Art, and we have 3 different mediums now. We have art journaling, new. We have lettering and watercolor. And so today what we are doing is I'm going to show you our lettering project. So you might see in front of me I have a journal. This is a little bit different than art journaling, but what this is it's a dot journal. So if you ever have heard of bullet journaling or anything like that, I wanted to start this off with our first monthly box together to give you a fresh start. So in this project, I'm going to be showing you how to do a full calendar layout. So if you don't have our box, you can get it still. And if you don't, it's okay. You can grab your own journal, or if you want to do this and you just want to have this in your notebook or something else, please feel free to follow along and do this with us. So there are 6 different steps that I'm going to go through for this full one. So you can see this is my journal, and I'm going to first show you 2 different layouts that I'm going to do. But the first step we're going to do is the shape in pencil. Then I'm going to lay it out the whole month and the numbers, the dates, in a pencil. Step 3 is pattern. Step 4 is I'm going to show you how I use the Micron Pen, which is a pen I'll show you in a second. The 5th step is the practice worksheets, which you can get on our website for free to practice along. And then the 6th step, and we're going to do your month. The 6th step is I want you to enjoy this, because this is something new. This is a great way, like I said, to incorporate lettering into your life. That's what we wanted to do here. I didn't want lettering to feel intimidating. If this is your first time ever starting with us, I'm really excited to have you here. Keenan's excited to have you.
Welcome.
So, okay, the supplies that I am using are, this journal is by Carpe Diem. So this is a great one that I'm really excited to show you. And inside, you'll see that there are dots. I like to have dots because it's easy for when you're drawing things. So I'll show you how I use that. So that's the first supply. The second supply is there are so many pens that come in your box, so you can feel free to use any of these. I'm going to show you all the ones that I'm going to be using. So this is the Fude Touch Sign Pen. By Pentel in black. This is a Micron pen that I love. This is the size 05.
You should put the pens next to their marks.
Oh. Then they're backwards. Oh no, I can do it that way.
What if you put it on the paper?
But won't the writing be there?
Oh, I guess it will.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Chris.
Sorry, guys. I got excited. I just thought it'd be so fancy.
I know it would. Okay, I'll do that though. This is the Zebra mild liner. I kept calling it midliner.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what, guys? Double-sided. Forgot about that. This is also double-sided. This is a twin tone by Tombow. So the reason why I'm giving you so many different pens is that so you can experiment and see there's so many different capabilities. This is also, whoa, that messed up a little bit, but this is also a brush pen. And it's also double-sided. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and a handy-dandy mechanical pencil that I will be using. Okay, so those are all the supplies. Scratch that. Just keep going. Is that all in the shot?
Yeah.
You get an eraser too. Nice. Okay, that's all that comes in your box. So those are the supplies. First step, when you are starting out, I'm going to talk to the camera for a second. Don't be afraid to make marks. This journal, I know you might be intimidated to start, so I want you to pause if you're scared and remind yourself that this is a fresh start. This is something that you're giving yourself the chance to have fun. If you don't even try, you won't even know if you enjoy this. So I want you to be here with me today and do this with us. So when you're opening your journal, actually, I'm going to start with this new one. You will have all these different pages. I usually don't like to start from the front. This was a practice one that we were using. I usually like to leave my front blank. That's just a personal thing, and that because maybe I'll write 2020 or something on the front. So I'm going to take and do, maybe I'll do the second one. And to start out, like I said, step 1 is I'm going to use my mechanical pencil. And when you are doing this, is this in the shot?
Needs to be a little lower.
Okay.
Can it overlap?
Yeah. Just want to be able to show them this. So this is on the back of, if you do have our box, they come with these really nice step-by-step sheets. And I wanted to give you guys 2 different examples. So I'm going to go over both of these today with you so that you can try either one. So if you can see on my dot journal, you can decide where you want to go. So this is why I love to use a pencil. And what I realized when I was doing this on my own is, I'm just going to start about here in the middle. It's okay, you could start wherever you want. But what I did was I picked about, I think it was 25 is what I counted. So when I'm doing this, I'm counting the dots. Or what you can do is you can start from the outside and count. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of the week. I need to have that many columns at least. And then January has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows plus this, so that's 6 rows. So I don't want you to get stuck and be like, well, I don't like math or I don't want to do this. I'm not going to take the time to do it. If you just break it down, take it step by step, what you can do is you can write out your word first or the month, sketch it out. And then if you want, you can just go, okay, this is where I'm going to take up, let's see, did I take up 1 square? I just took up 1 square. So then you can make it look like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sketch it in. So let's say Sunday, I'm going to skip. So what I'm looking at is you can either choose that these are dots or I actually see squares here. So I'm going to skip 2 squares and then do the next one. Skip 2, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So when I did this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is if you notice and you're looking overhead, you can see that this got a little bit, there's a little bit more room over here than here. So I'm going to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this over 1. Am I okay still?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Just don't move.
Don't move. So this way, this is what I was saying, was if you're scared to start and you don't know, this is why an eraser is good, or you have the big eraser if you like. And I'm doing this in pencil. Okay, so there, that is more centered. You can tell I'm just scribbling. So then from there, I realize I'm combining step 1 and 2 because I told you to draw the shape first, but I just combined step 1 and step 2. And so Wednesday is when the first of this month of this year. I realize if you're watching this and it's not 2020, you will need to adjust because the first of the month probably doesn't start on Wednesday. So make sure your calendar's correct. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my rows now. So the rows go this way. And I'm going to do every other one. So I did it here, so I'm going to start my next row here. 5, oops. Your eyes might get a little tripped out. So if you need to take a break, it's okay. 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I'm going to fill in the rest. And so I'm doing this in pencil first because I want to make sure once I'm done that it is centered. 25. This made me think of, I'm going to talk to everyone. Have you guys ever heard this trick where if you never know if the month has 31 or 31 days, do you know a trick to figure it out? Your knuckles?
Knuckles.
Knuckles. Okay, if you guys don't know this, I'm going to be silly and teach you. If you look at your knuckles, is this a common knowledge thing?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we're going to find out if everyone knows. So if you look at your knuckles, every time you count, so January, February, March, April, use your knuckles. Whenever it stops on a knuckle, it is 31 days. Well, except for February.
Well,
but actually
February's in the crevice.
What is that technically called?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, so January, February, March is 31, April, May has 31, June, July is 31, and August is 31.
Hello.
I love that. Such a fun little trick. Okay, if you're wondering. So I laid out, that feels really good. Even if yours is a little off center, it's okay. Maybe you have your calendar up higher, you have it up lower. Doesn't need to look exactly like this. Once I have this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw my shapes, the rest of my shapes. So it looks like I took 2 spaces below just to give it a little bit of breathing room. So this is my guideline for where I'm gonna draw my pattern. 1, 2. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to recenter my January. Okay, does that look cool from above?
Yeah, it does. I like the side too, though. So.
Okay, cool. So that way, yeah, that feels centered. That is that step. Then, okay, step 3. When you're looking at this, you can see that I did 2 different patterns. So this one I'm gonna use my Tombow dual brush pen, and this one I'm gonna use these other 2 pens. So if you also don't have our box and you have other pens, or if you like different colors, please do it. I wanna see what you guys create. So I'm going to do, we're gonna fast forward really quickly because I'm gonna do this twice, so then I can do both of them at the same time for you guys.
And
right.
Zoom on.
Oh, I forgot. Zoom off?
Zoom out.
Okay, you can keep that. Okay, so we're back. So I just really quickly laid it out in pencil because I want to show you. I'm going to do both at the same time. Okay, make sure this is all in the shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the pattern. I know you're here for lettering, but the cool thing about lettering is that we're just an art company and we do everything. And so I'm going to show you that you can use your brush pens to also make different patterns. So I'm going to use the brush side of my Tombow dual brush pen. This is 623. Realize I didn't say that number. And so what I'm going to do is I drew this pencil pretty dark. I'm going to just lightly erase it. I want to be able to see it a little bit. I'm just going to lightly erase it. And so what I'm going to do is this is going to be my guideline, but I'm actually going to overlap it because if you guys can see on here, you don't really know where I drew my square because I overlapped a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw big leaves. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to overlap a little bit and I'm going to play with pressure. So you'll notice, and this is a great way to get to know your brush pen, is because you can go from thin to thick to thin. So it's like a round, or you can just go thick if you want to make a thick line. And then you can also make thin lines by just lightly applying pressure. Sorry, Keenan. You're fine. Or we can stay overhead. He had zoomed in for you guys.
For a while.
Okay. So when I'm doing this, I'm not really thinking about my pattern. All I'm doing is I'm just kind of filling it in. So I'm just going to continue to draw half moons, or you can call them almond shapes, or loose C's. And then I'm just going to draw the veins. Eye shapes.
Leaves.
Leaves. You can draw them different shapes if you'd like, but this is really cool. So this is just an abstract pattern. So keep doing that. And then on the other one, I used a combination of my zebra mild liner. So this, it has a highlighter type of, I don't know if broad, that's what I'd call it, as a highlighter shape.
Yeah, highlighter shape.
And then this is just a bullet type of shape. So I'm going to use this side. And so for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lightly erase my shape. Also, I should say this, if you want to do, maybe you do a rectangle, or you do a circle, or you do a diamond shape. You can change up the shape if you'd like to do that as well. But I'm going to do the same thing. Is I'm going to draw my leaves. I'm just going to draw them a little bit smaller, and maybe there's more of a stem on these ones. And again, you'll notice that I overlapped really slightly over my shape line. So again, if you're not familiar with drawing leaves, what I'm doing is I'm drawing a line, a curve, and then you could draw a smaller curve if you want to have the stem, and then just drawing the veins. So then what you can do is you can choose, so like I said, this is the twin tone one, and there's 2 different sizes. So you can experiment. I think I went with the, let's see, I'm gonna experiment and show you guys both. So this side of the twin tone seems to be similar to this side of the mild liner, the other side. And then the other one is thinner. So you can use both sides. Maybe you do this on, or do one that has all 3 of the colors. I chose a really pretty color palette so that they all go together. But we are going to zoom on again while I finish this up so you guys can just see the final product. Okay, so I did the full pattern, and you guys can see that I filled it both out. I should have prefaced, you don't have to do, I hope you guys realize that you don't have to do both of them. I'm just showing you both so that you can see side by side what I'm doing. So the next step is that we're gonna use the Micron pen. So I'm going to fill in, oh, scratch that. I forgot, I wanted to show you one other step. So before I do my Micron pen, I'm going to make it a little bit different, if you can see, I added a highlight for the days of the week. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use the brush pen side of this, and I'm just going to push hard to draw a thick line over that. And then on this one, use the handy dandy highlighter side.
The broad stroke.
The broad stroke. And I'm going to do a few strokes of that. Then, now I'm going to use my Micron pen. So if none of you are familiar with the Micron pen, this is a great pen. They're super popular for drawing, and they're great because they don't smear. So, and they come in different various sizes, so you can either go smaller or bigger. The 05 is the one that I personally really like. What did we decide? It's actually 0.45 millimeter, but it's called 05.
It's
tricky.
confusing.
So all I'm going to do,
You pull that down a little bit and
yes,
then move your head. Yes, perfect.
move everything, is I am just tracing over my pencil lines. So I'm going to do the days of the week. And don't feel like you have to make them exactly, because I'm just going to lightly erase it after. So even if it's a little bit bigger than the dots, maybe you want to make them a little bit bigger, you can. Oh, Keenan had a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what day? So we were thinking that if there's any holidays, and MLK Day is, at least for the US,
Yes.
is in January.
Yeah.
Can you, I
can look it up.
I think it's, yeah, look it up.
We can do Brock's
I
birthday
think it's
instead.
the 20th. When's Brock's birthday?
The 16th?
I'm going to do something different for Brock's birthday.
Okay.
Okay. So I think it's the 20th. I'm going to leave
January
Brock's.
20th. Nailed
Boom.
it. 2020 on the 20th.
Whoa!
2020.
That's going to be a great day. I bet so many people are going to get married on that day,
Do you think so?
even though it's a Monday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a different color and make that a different color so that we know it's a special day. And then Brock's birthday, let me keep going. If you have different people. Well, I guess I was going to say I'm going to circle his name.
His date?
Yeah, thank you. I can't multitask. Who knows what I actually say when I'm doing that. Let's get the thinner side. 16?
Yep.
Brock. Then if you have other people, maybe you circle their birthdays. You can, I don't want to, because I can draw a B, but I think I'm not going to do that. Okay, so do that for the other side. I'll do it later because I don't want to take up more time. And then what we're going to do is use your practice worksheets. So you can see what I did here is I have 2 different ways that you can write January. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the script style, and I'm going to show you one that's a little bit different. So if you've never done script style, there's still an option for you. Put this off to the side. So really quickly, there are 2 different practice worksheets that, like I said, if you don't have our box, you can do this for free and get them at our website at letsmakeart.com. And I'm going to be using for this one the Fude Touch Sign brush pen. So this is actually a brush pen. So a brush pen essentially means that you can create different size strokes based on how hard you push. So with this script style of lettering is that there's thin and thick strokes. But what this worksheet I want to train you is to break it up. So don't feel like you need to draw it really quickly like this, all in one, because you'll notice that it got a little scratchy. It's pretty much all the same stroke thickness. So what I'm going to do is you can see that I broke them apart so you can see them stroke by stroke. And then I also broke them apart here. So it actually goes like this. So maybe I'll do this first. What I want you to do is go thick and then thin. So just trace over these strokes. So when you're going down, it's a thicker line. And when you're going up, it's a thinner line. So then I left space so you can do it on your own. So thick on the down, thin on the up.
Will you give us another example of the lines and then pull it back down?
Gosh, darn it, sorry.
Sorry, I was watching the side camera.
You're good.
Getting far up here.
Okay, so one more time. So thick on the down, thin on the up. So thick on the down, thin on the up. And that is just simply created by the amount of pressure I'm pressing. So when I'm going down, I'm pushing harder. And when I'm going up, I'm going lighter. So thick, thin. So you will notice as you are doing these simple shapes, so thick on the down, thin on the up. So if you go through all of these on your own, you will start to realize that they are very basic shapes, but they actually make up this entire word. So I'm going to do it up here, and I'm going to show you. This is that same stroke. So here's the J. And then the A is actually a C. And then this guy. And then the N is just a line. So that's what we did here. And then this stroke, which is a combination kind of curve stroke, is you're going to go up and then down and then up. So I want you to, that's why I had built the worksheet like this, so you can break it apart, and then when you go, you can trace over it and practice first. So I'm doing it stroke by stroke, so that way I can think about thick on the down, thin on the up, thick on the down, thin on the up, thick on the down, thin on the up. So take your time to do that. There's a couple other practice that you can go through on your own. So again, this is with a brush pen. If you want, you can also, you can also do it with your Tombow Dual brush pen because this is also a brush. You'll just have to realize that it's going to be a thicker stroke than what's on this because if you're looking at this, they're 2 different sizes. So they both work. I just want you to know that. And then the other practice worksheet is this guy. So I'm actually going to do it on here, but you can take your time and practice on here. But what I'm going to do is rewrite, my January. So I'm just going to draw out. So this is just my block style. Nothing fancy about it. So I wrote it out like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, let's see what I did. I think I used this guy, and I think I went over in black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw and trace over this again, but I am adding a style to it. So what I'm doing is, this is essentially foligraphy. So if you've never heard me say that before, there's a beginner lettering series that goes over it. But what I'm doing is that I'm essentially, when my hand would be going down and make a thicker line, I'm also going to do that, but instead of filling it in, I'm just going to leave it open like that, because it's, like I said, a different style. So that on the up, thick on the down. So this is the part that I'm going to make thicker. So instead of what we were doing earlier, is we were playing with pressure to create a thicker line. We're essentially, because this isn't a brush pen, when I push it doesn't move at all, I'm just making the thick line thicker by drawing an extra shape. Sorry, I paused. I was thinking.
This is my favorite type of whatever
Style lettering.
style. That's the word. Thank you.
The open.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, instead of filling it in, I just like it when it's open like that.
Oh, I did my Y differently. Okay, so the reason other way I like to leave it open, I know I love this style too, it has a different look, is I like to leave it open because then you can take a different color. So this is my, oh, I didn't say it on camera. Sea green?
Sea green.
Not blue green?
Can't remember. I think it's blue green.
Blue green. It's blue green.
Blue green.
If we can add that to the beginning slides, add the color. So I'm just coloring in the parts that I had made darker, or that I had left open. Okay, that's how you do that. I realized on this one, I went back over it. I'm not going to do it on here, but if you want, you can see the difference on here, is that I think I just went back over it again just to add another pop to it, and I did it with my Micron to do it in black. The last thing with this one that I wanted to realize is I'm going to do it. I added a little border on this one, so on this one I didn't do it, but on here I'm going to draw it in. I'm going to use the thicker side of this. And so whenever I see my pattern, I'm not going to draw that part, but I'm going to draw it where it's not there and skip around it and just draw the square. Kind of encapsulate it. Okay.
Now it looks like you're living in the
It does. So I'm very, I just noticed something. It's a little, looks a little sad right there. I'm gonna draw a heart. Whenever things are off-centered and things start to bother me, if this is you and you're like that, you just fill it in with something else. That's the way to make it work, so you don't have to start all over. Okay, so now that I realize that I did that, I'm going to do the January. I realized I didn't do it on the purple one, so I'm gonna finish this all out. We're gonna zoom, and then I'll meet you guys back at the end. Okay, we are back and we're done. So you can see I did 2 different examples, and then you'll also notice that I took my big eraser. This is why I love having a big eraser, and I wanted to include it for you guys, is I just really lightly erased over my pencil lines to get rid of those. So that's the final step. Now you have your calendar set up. I realized I should have said this in the beginning, that if it's not January, make it for February or March or whatever you're watching this in. You don't have to do January. So this is, like I said, a great way to incorporate lettering into your life if you don't feel like making a final big project, or you don't want to make a card and you want to do something else. I love doing this because it's a great way to get yourself set up and also see what days of the week. So you can do a couple different things. We're going to go through this month. We're going to go through other ways to draw headers. I'm going to do another list that shows doing goals and lists. So there's other ways you can incorporate this. So more will be coming your guys' way. We have a Facebook group called Let's Make Art Lettering if you'd like to join along, see others in your community that are also doing lettering as well. And then we have an Instagram called Let's Go Make Art, where feel free to tag us there. And we hope your new year is off to a great start. Happy New Year from all of us at Let's Make Art to you. Bye.